Open world games are still a rare sight in VR, mainly because the VR tech has only recently gotten power enough to handle these massive immersive games. But now that it can, we are seeing more and more of these true open world experiences in VR, where you're free to explore and interact with massive worlds like never before. So here's the list of the best open world VR games that run on standalone Quest 3 and Quest 2 as for now, and I will also mention some open world PC VR games which you can also play on these headsets if you have a gaming PC. So if you're ready, let's go. Zenith is a true open world MMORPG designed from ground up for VR. The game features a large continuous world where you can really explore lush forests, towering mountains, bustling cities, and deep caves. The world is populated with NPCs, quests, dungeons, and other players. You can engage in combat, craft items, level up your character, and interact with other players in real time. I've made several videos on this game actually. For a while, I was really addicted to it. The game's open world design is focused on providing a shared experience where players can join forces to compete while doing quests and exploring the world. Into the Radius is one of the most immersive but also frightening open-world VR games you'll ever play. I guess it's the most fun for those who love post-apocalyptic horror survival shooters. Into the Radius is a unique open-world experience in a haunting dystopian settings. It has explorable zones or areas which you can roam freely and explore in a non-linear way. You're free to do missions in any order, revisit areas to scavenge for resources, and complete side quests. There are missions which drive the narrative forward, but they don't restrict your freedom to explore the world at your own pace. The game doesn't rush you, which I appreciate. What's more, the world in Into the Radius is persistent, meaning that the changes you make, such as clearing out enemies and collecting resources, remain as you left them when you return to the area. The open world also has the day and night cycles and dynamic weather, and the game has recently launched on PSVR 2, and this is an absolutely amazing experience because now you can take advantage of the headset haptics, the advanced controller haptics, and it also of course has the amazing OLED display on PSVR 2, which makes the colors incredible, and the blacks are now deeper than ever. It is an absolutely new experience to play Into the Radius on PSVR 2, and I highly recommend you play it if you have this console, or watch my video to see how it actually works in action. I'll drop the link in the description. Thank you CM Games and Fast Travel Games for sponsoring this video. Green Hell VR is a survival game set in a large open world environment modeled after the Amazon rainforest. The open world design is integral to the survival experience, as you need to navigate the environment, gather resources, craft tools, build shelters, and fend off threats. The game's world is unforgiving and realistic, with dynamic weather, day-night cycles, and the constant need to manage your health, hunger, and sanity. The exploration in this game is non-linear. It allows you to choose your path and survival strategies, which is really cool. While Green Hell exists as a flat-screen PC game, the VR version is a completely separate game which can be played on a standalone Quest. Asgard's Wrath 2 is an unbelievably massive open-world game rooted in Norse mythology. The game allows you to explore multiple expansive realms, each with its own unique environments, characters, and lore. You can freely travel between different regions on a huge map. The world is designed to be alive and reactive, with NPCs, dynamic weather, and day-night cycles contributing to the sense of immersion. The open-world structure allows endless explorations, side quests, and interactions with a variety of mythological beings. It's truly a groundbreaking VR title that I even included in my God tier VR games list, which you can check out by clicking here in the corner or finding the links in the description. Asgard's Wrath 2 is definitely a must-play open-world VR game. The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners Chapter 2 Retribution is another game featuring a semi-open world design within a post-apocalyptic setting. The city is divided into several large districts that you can freely explore, each with its own dangers, resources, and narrative element. While the game is mission-driven, you're encouraged to revisit areas, scavenge for supplies, and interact with the world at your own pace. The day-night cycle adds a layer of strategy as the dangers increase after dark. Although not a fully seamless open world, the connected areas and freedom of exploration provide a strong open world feel within the game structure. And if you have a gaming PC, here's a few other open-world VR games which you can play using your Quest or any PCVR headset. No Man's Sky VR is one of the most expensive open-world games in VR, with a procedurally generated universe that includes billions of planets, each with its own unique ecosystems, landscapes, and creatures. The scale of the universe is nearly infinite, allowing you to explore freely and discover new worlds at your own pace. You can choose your path, whether it's exploring deep space, building bases, trading, or engaging in space battles, all within an expansive, seamless universe which feels truly magical in VR. There's not a gamer in the world who hasn't heard of Skyrim, but not many have tried it in VR, and they should. The sense of freedom to go wherever you want, whether it's climbing a mountain, raiding a dungeon, or simply wandering the wilderness or exploring the cities, it is undescribable, that feeling. Skyrim's open world is one of the most expansive and interactive, offering endless opportunities for discovery and adventure. And of course, if you mod it, you'll get the whole different level of immersion or non-immersion. And every self-respecting VR gamer has to play it in VR at least once. While Cyberpunk 2077 does not have an official VR mode, its fan-made VR mode made by Luke Ross is so good at bringing this game into VR and works so seamlessly and naturally that I simply had to include it in this list. Cyberpunk 2077 presents an open-world city which you can navigate without restrictions, complete side missions, engage with NPCs, and uncover hidden secrets. The world is dynamic with a day-night cycle and a population that reacts to your reaction, and that feels wild in VR. It makes the city feel alive and so immersive, it's truly amazing. While the game is story-driven, the open world aspect lets you explore and interact with the night city on your own terms. Subnautica VR's open world is an underwater environment set on an alien ocean planet. The world is so mysterious and so scary, with different biomes such as coral reefs, deep ocean trenches, and underwater caves. The game's open world design allows you to dive into the depth, discover new marine life, and uncover the planet's terrifying underwater mysteries. You can build underwater bases, explore shipwrecks, and gather resources, all within a dynamic and immersive open world environment, which responds to your actions. An absolute must-play in VR. Similar to No Man's Sky, Elite Dangerous VR offers an open-world experience on a galactic scale. The game features a one-to-one representation of the Milky Way galaxy with billions of star systems, planets, and moons to explore. You have the freedom to travel anywhere, engaging in exploration, trading, combat, or mining. The galaxy is persistent with a dynamic economy and political landscape that evolves based on players' actions. While the original flat-screen version was released 10 years ago, it still holds up as one of the top open-world VR games. Similar to Green Hell, The Forest VR places you in a large open forest environment where survival is your primary goal. The world is fully explorable, from dense forests to hidden caves and underwater areas. There's no set path. You can choose where to go, what to build, and how to survive. You can gather resources and build shelters wherever you see fit. The environment reacts to your actions, with trees can be cut down, structures that can be built, and threats that you can encounter organically as you explore. If you're curious about the differences between The Forest and Green Hell, which by the way, you also can play Green Hell on PCVR, I'd say that The Forest is more focused on building, while Green Hell is focused on surviving. In Green Hell, it's much easier to die of hunger, thirst, or infection, while in The Forest, you most frequently will be dying in combat with the local tribes. But both games are definitely worth checking out in VR. If there are any more amazing open-world VR games that you know of, please recommend them down below in the comments for others to see and enjoy. And in the meantime, if you want to play true God-tier VR games, check out this video I made with the absolute next-level VR games that changed the course of the VR industry development in different ways. And I also recently reviewed Into the Radius on PSVR 2, which is incredible, and definitely watch this if you're interested in buying this game for PSVR 2. See you there!